We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Episode 20.
Man, I remember when I was 20.
I don't.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
A long time ago for me. Back in my day, we walked to school uphill both ways through 6 feet of snow.
Mentally, though, I am still 20, I believe.
Yeah.
Body-wise, I just got out of high school, man.
Body-wise, I feel like I'm 84,
yes,
but,
I can agree with that. My brain, young, my body, about shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running on E right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can make it to the end of episode 20.
Yeah, we need to get on to episode 21 because we got good stuff coming up for that. But
right, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. But anyway, we got a shit ton of news for you guys this week. So, of course, training camp is going on. We'll hit that hard here. A bunch of other news has popped in the last day or so.
It's gonna get spicy.
Oh yeah, but we'll start off a couple of NFL things. One that came out over the weekend, I believe it was. The Buffalo
We are shooting
Bills.
on Tuesday, by the way, right?
Yes, this is Tuesday night. The Buffalo Bills have came out and said that they want a new stadium, and they're threatening to move to Austin, Texas, if they don't get public funding.
Austin, Texas?
No. Yeah, I know where you're going with that one, their road trip, but
yeah.
Where did he go?
Austin, Massachusetts.
You mean Boston, Massachusetts?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yes, dude. Yes.
yeah, Austin, Massachusetts.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah, but the little kicker to this whole thing was members of the Austin City Council were asked about it, and they claimed they had no idea about any of this stuff. So
that sounds very Bills-like to me. If there was if the NFL had a rom-com of teams, that'd be very Bill-esque, I believe.
Well, we can't really
talk.
To
Austin.
We can't really talk right now, but we'll get into that later. But teams can't use Los Angeles or Vegas for leverage anymore. So I suppose they got to pick another town.
We're going to Tallahassee.
Yeah, Bismarck, North Dakota. We're moving there.
Right. That would be fucking sweet, though. Honestly, to get one of these like smaller states a team. But anyways,
like media markets that would never happen.
Des Moines.
Yeah. So anyway, that's something that's going to bear watching. You'll hear that for a while, the same as you did with us before we got the stadium, the Rams, the Chargers, the Raiders, yada, yada, so on and so forth. But
that was pretty on the fence on people here believing whether or not we're leaving or not there for a while.
I think we'd have been gone, honestly, if we didn't get the stadium, because the Metrodome was a freaking dump. I mean, they built it on the cheap in 1982, and it had well outlived its useful life. So, but anyway, we don't need to go down that rabbit hole. But then some news out of Indianapolis. They've got a foot problem in Indy, apparently. Both Carson Wentz and guard Quentin Nelson are now out anywhere from 5 to 12 weeks because they both had to have foot surgery here in the last couple of days.
Wentz just cannot stay healthy.
Which is kind of surprising because, I mean, at least early on in his college career, he was durable as hell.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, his senior year, he broke his hand and was out for a better part of the season. But,
yeah,
once he got to the NFL, he was on an MVP pace until he got hurt in 2017.
Yeah, he was. He was mentioned among the elite quarterbacks for a good season there.
Right. But ever since he got hurt, he just hasn't been the same since. So,
I mean, obviously it's debatable, but yeah, I mean, about his status as a quarterback. But
right.
yeah, unfortunately, the injury bug has followed him. His body just can't handle the game. Bradford would have been amazing if his body could have handled the game, but it couldn't.
No, that's the problem. So anyway, that's the big stuff. And then also, as of, I believe it was Tuesday afternoon, there was a flat out brawl at New York Giants training camp this afternoon.
Police in Bristol need the public's help in identifying those involved in this big brawl in a park.
Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
And apparently there was a big pile up. Daniel Jones ended up at the bottom of the pile somehow or another.
Brett Jones?
No, Daniel Jones, the quarterback that gets tackled.
Oh, I thought about Brett Jones.
No. The ghost of Brett Jones is in Denver right now, supposedly.
I gotta throw it in there, man.
right. No, I know. But so then apparently Joe Judge, the head coach, he was having the whole team running sprints all afternoon because he was pissed because the team was in a fight and all that other stuff. But
some guys like that though.
Yeah.
Some guys like to see that fire during, preseason. You don't want your players getting hurt, obviously.
No,
but
you don't need knockdown, drag out fights.
Competition breeds success, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, that's true. But then the only other really non-Viking football related news anyway is Mark Wilf had a press conference on Tuesday and said that they had submitted a bid for Minnesota to be hosting the scouting combine starting in 2023 and will go through 2027, I believe. So bears watching if we get and it being awarded that'd be really cool. I mean,
that would be sweet.
If they start allowing more fan interaction to go to the stuff.
I was just saying that we just talked about them, someday you would think the NFL light bulb would go on and they'd be like, well, shit.
Yeah, hey, we can
let
charge
fans in here. We can charge $10 a ticket.
No, they charge $50 a ticket and people will go to
it. They would.
Right. So, be kind of cool to see us get that.
Don't say that though, man.
I'm sure they've thought of it all those scenarios already. They don't have to listen to
$1 million.
Yeah. Goodell's sitting back there.
Right.
$1 million.
Yeah.
$1 million.
So anyway, that's kind of the main news. Now we'll move on to the bigger stuff of the week. All the latest and greatest coming out from training camp. Unless you've been under a rock, you'll know the Vikings had their first, not really scrimmage, but night practice at TCS Saturday night. And about an hour to 90 minutes before practice came out, the word came down that we lost basically our entire quarterback room.
Yeah.
Because Kellen Mond tested positive for COVID. And according to Clint Kubiak today, he's sick. He's not feeling real great right now. But Nate Stanley and Kirk Cousins both ended up not being able to go because apparently neither one of them are vaccinated and they're considered high risk close contact because they're in the
Right.
quarterback room, which left us with only Jake Browning as the only quarterback we had for this night practice. And by all accounts, he started out a little shaky, but did pretty well the way it sounded. I mean, that he's turning a few heads the way it sounds. I mean,
I was very pleased, honestly, with what I seen, and I believe the exact numbers on the night for Browning was 26 of 37, which in my opinion is pretty damn good. Granted, it was a training camp practice without pads on,
right.
but I seen the balls he was throwing. I seen those balls, and he was throwing them everywhere.
Just whipping them every direction.
He was whipping his balls all over the place.
But
No, but seriously, he was throwing a nice tight spiral, and he was putting in some good spots.
yeah. And
Way to whip those balls, Browning. That's what I like to see.
yeah, he had, and you know, there was always a talk before about Browning not having a strong arm or anything. Now, granted,
Well, the thing is with Browning is nobody's really seen a lot of him.
no, really haven't seen much about him at all since he was at Washington, you know, and then he had that shoulder, arm or shoulder problem.
Strength arm, I believe, from what I could see. It had some zip.
Well, and what NFL Network was talking when it was on that Saturday practice, they were, you know, doing their round the league, and they were in Minnesota for a while there. They were issuing comparisons to Case Keenum about Browning.
Hey.
So
I just got butterflies.
I'm not sure I'm ready to go 2017.
Yeah, I know. Let's
Keenum
not
with
count the
Browning
kid,
here yet.
but it's good to see that
Mhm.
and have somebody go out there and not, you know, when you could tell if a guy does not know what's going on or what type of ball he throws, for sure.
Yep.
He throws a better ball than Keenum, in my opinion, from what I've seen or what I have seen so far. It's good. It's good to see what the guy has. And as a fan, not knowing what we're going to have in the future, and especially as a Vikings fan, it's good to know that there's somebody out there that we could possibly get behind if it came down to it.
Yeah. Well, and the way things are going, you know, with this whole other rigmarole, I mean, Browning is probably cementing himself as the number 2 quarterback, at least to start the season with. The way
He is. He's got a leg up. And if there's somebody that's, getting a positive out of this and a negative, it's definitely Browning. He's getting a lot of reps.
Mm-hmm.
But I did read they do have 2 quarterbacks that came in today.
Yeah. They brought one in on Monday and the other one on Tuesday. One is Case Cookus, which
I have no idea who.
I don't even know what college he went to. Apparently,
the replacements.
He's been on a couple of practice squads or camps or something. But and then the other one is, and this is real comforting here, is they claim Danny Etling off of
LSU,
waivers.
I believe.
Huh?
LSU.
Yeah, he's from LSU, but he was on waivers from Seattle because Seattle cut him to sign Sean Mannion. So we picked up the guy that got cut for Sean Mannion to replace Sean Mannion. Now, granted, Etling and Cookus are probably only going to be on the roster until we get, at least Cousins and Stanley back off of their 5-day COVID protocol, which I think should be tomorrow, maybe Thursday at the latest.
Yeah, hopefully their fucking tests come back negative.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, and that's the thing,
Speaking of tests and protocol.
Yeah, this of course is turning it, I was talking to somebody earlier and talking about why can't we just have a regular freaking preseason training camp, whatever kind of thing. It's got to be always a shit show. They came out with numbers today. They said most of the league is at least 90%. We are the worst vaccinated team in the league. We are at 64.5%.
That's what. Well, I was thinking, Ryan, if the league is at 90% and we are sitting here with 4 unvaxxed quarterbacks, basically. I don't know. Browning is vaxxed, right?
Browning is vaxxed. That's the only reason he could.
3 of our quarterbacks are unvaxxed. on our team. I mean, that I was thinking we're probably one of the teams with the least amount of vaccinated players.
Well, like I said, they said
It
today,
makes sense.
64.5%, which means 32 players on our team are not vaccinated. But it's at 64.5%. The only percentage that this team has lower than that is our field goal percentage and Dakota Dozier's PFF ranking.
I don't want to stick around on this topic for too long.
No, I don't either, because it's been a shit show on Twitter and everything else. I don't want to dive down that pro-vax, anti-vax thing, but
this is not that podcast.
No, but it is. It's concerning to me from the point where this could very likely happen during the season, and one of our big name players, whether it be Cousins, whether it be Adam Thielen, whether it be Harrison Smith, or any of the other guys that have decided not to get vaxxed, they missed the game. We could be in big trouble. I mean, Patrick Peterson was on his podcast, and he came out and said, I got vaccinated. He said, because I'm too important to this process. He said, I don't want to be the reason why we lose a critical game and miss the playoffs. That's why I got vaccinated. He said,
it's unfortunate that it's come to this.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It just is. It's just unfortunate that it's come down to this and that this is the way it has to be. As a human being, Rhino. As a human being, we shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know what to say, man.
No, I agree with you. And like I said, I'm not going to get into the whole pro-vax, anti-vax thing because it's a losing
that road because
it's a losing argument no matter who you have it with. So
you're right.
So, but I mean,
I did get some bit of information that I'm going to leave anonymous. Okay. You guys could speculate on who gave this to me, but they said, I want you to say something on your show today. And he said, tell Zimmer to worry about his job and shut the fuck up about people's COVID choices. I'm not going to say who said that, but it's something that I had sent to me today. And I would have to agree with that. So,
right. But the thing of it is, and I think the reason why Zimmer's so pissed about this is because Zimmer knows his ass is on the line this year. And if he's got his star players missing games and they're losing those games, Zimmer's going to be out of a job at the end of the year because, as we've said, no excuses this year. So you can't use the excuse, Kirk Cousins missed the game against the Packers because he was in COVID protocol.
You're absolutely right. COVID has got everybody thrown for a loop.
Yeah, but I mean,
and we're going on 2 years in, man.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, I don't want to get into the COVID any more than we had to because I've got another rant.
This is not Vikings COVID Uncensored.
No. So we're gonna leave it at that and move on. But to something that's a lot more frustrating, at least in my mind.
Talk about something that we do have a little bit of control over.
Yeah, and for Zimmer being as concerned as he with the other stuff, this is the thing that's got me all 9 different ways are riled up on this thing.
Man, I've been waiting all week to hear this shit.
It's this goddamn thing that we keep doing every flipping year. Zimmer came out on Saturday and said that the right guard competition basically is between Oli Udoh, who's a tackle, never played guard before, Dakota Dozier, and Drew Samia. So basically, and then now the last couple of days, Oli Udoh has been over playing left tackle.
Dakota Dozier?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, basically, so 2 of our 3 choices for right guard are 2 of the 5 worst guards in the NFL last year.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one worse, in my opinion, than Dakota Dozier was Drew Samia, which disappoints the shit out of me because the
only reason I can believe that they are doing what they are doing is because they're trying, hopefully, I mean, I can't speak for the team, and I can't speak for the line coach. Hopefully, the only reason they're playing musical chairs on this offensive line is to actually get the 5 best players playing the position they can get.
Yeah, but when you draft a guy like Wyatt Davis, we drafted in the 3rd round to be a guard. He's been practicing as the 3rd string freaking center.
Yo.
I mean, granted, now he's got an ankle injury, so he's been out for a couple of days, but for fuck's sake, we bring him in here as a guard. Put him at guard!
Right.
God.
All-American guard. All-American guard.
Consensus All-American at guard. And we're making him the third string center and letting Dakota freaking Dozier. Mark my goddamn words. Dozier's going to start week 1 at right guard.
God, don't say that.
Oh, I fully
Don't
believe
say that
that's, I know, but I fully believe that's where we're going with this shit. Because
Nah.
Zimmer and his infinite wisdom about all this stuff, doesn't like to play rookies. But, and we bag on Spielman and everybody else for not being able to find people that work out, like Pat Elflein and everything else. Did anybody ever stop to think that maybe the reason why some of these guys don't work out is because we keep moving them fucking around?
They're playing out of position.
Yeah. Put them at the position that they played in college and where they have experience, and maybe they'll develop into something.
Thank God he's not practicing with the 2s or the 1s, because right now I think your head would explode.
Yeah. I mean, this is just, when I saw this, every time I watch practice and I see Dozier's ass walking out there with the 1s, I'm like,
honestly, we have 2 fucking centers on our team right now.
Yeah.
Who needs 3 fucking centers?
We traded for a center.
Mason fucking Cole.
Yeah.
We have Garrett Bradbury. Next thing they're going to be having Garrett Bradbury taking reps at goddamn left tackle.
Yeah. I mean, but you look at it, like I was talking about, these guys don't develop because you don't give them a chance to master the craft at one position. Look at our line right now. Okay. At left guard,
Cleveland, who was supposed to be our left tackle of the future to begin with.
right. Who played right guard last year and now is at left guard.
Left guard.
Left tackle right now until Darisaw comes back. It's been a hodgepodge of, Rashad Hill and now Oli Udo has been playing a little bit there. Center, okay, Bradbury hasn't moved, but he still hasn't developed because he's had shitty
I believe
guards
Mason Cole is the new Brett Jones.
Could very well be. Then it's at right guard, we've got the guy who couldn't stop water from running uphill, or the guy who was even worse than that. And the only one who's really turned out is
Dozier's apprentice is Samia.
Yeah, the only one who's really turned out into anything that we've got right now on the offensive line is Brian O'Neill. And guess what? You have not moved Brian O'Neill around. He's been playing right tackle since he came in. Ding, 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 ding,
Guess
ding.
what? These are best fucking
Right.
offensive linemen.
Oh, gee, maybe there's a correlation between this. Good God.
Yeah. It's getting to be to the point where the ones that we're saying, why are these guys starting at different positions back in minicamp? It's starting to be like, I'm starting to wonder what the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I said
What the fuck is going on?
I was watching Mackie and Judd here on Tuesday, and Judd Zolgad is convinced that Dakota Dozier starting week 1.
No. Don't fucking say that, man.
I don't want to see that. And if it is, I may drive down to Egan and I may walk up and kick Zimmer straight in the fucking pills.
Put Davis in there. What do we have to lose, man?
I have no idea, but anyway.
I would rather see Davis burn than get Dozier put out there week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know Davis ain't gonna fucking crash and burn.
No. And Dozier on his best day is probably going to be Wyatt Davis.
Fucking All-American people.
Right.
There's a reason why he was an All-American. Because he was really good.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we'll move on from
that. There's the end all say all, but
right. We're going to move on from this here before I have a freaking brain aneurysm and have to call the ambulance. Couple other training camp things that want to hit quick. Of course, some
don't worry, on the show.
Some more great news. BC Johnson on Friday tore his ACL, so he's out for the year. But some interesting developments, though. Early leader probably for Mr. Mankato or the training camp king is none other than KJ Osborne.
Right. Well, we've had our discussions about him. We've kind of poked fun.
Oh yeah.
But we've also said that he is looking good. So I mean, we haven't been wrong there.
No, I mean, yeah, we were making fun of it last week about not moving him to the practice squad and all that other stuff. But
he has,
like I said, I watched the Saturday practice. I watched Monday afternoon practice, they had it live streaming. And I mean, Osborne's out there making catches. He's looking decent. So
I've been saying that, man.
And especially with BC out for the year now, I mean, it opens up a spot.
I think
he very well
gets
could
that
make the
final
league
spot.
I think he very well could. Granted, we'll see what happens when we start playing games. And
You know what, though? We didn't see a lot of Osborne at receiver last year. You know what we seen? A lot of Osborne returning punts that, he didn't work out there. Give him a shot at his natural position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, he averaged like a yard a return on punts. So,
granted, he was a rookie and he was drafted in the later rounds, but
still,
it's good that I like to see this growth.
Yeah,
it's nice.
And I said it was going to take a renaissance from Osborne to be able to make the team. Well,
at this point, it's looking that way.
So far, it's looking that way. So, I guess I was wrong. Might be wrong on something else, but
Run again, Sweeney Toad.
Hey,
you'd rather be wrong in that spot than
Oh, right. And
so,
more power to the kid if he's made that leap and is on there. That's great. It's good.
That's what I want to see.
Right. I don't care who it is. We want to see that kind of improvement from,
everyone.
Year 1 to year 2 and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So, but that's the biggest stuff, I guess, that's happened in training camp so far. Of course, this week, padded practices started on Tuesday. So, we'll get to see a little bit more.
So that'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, they'll start smacking each other around a little more and stuff. So see what happens there. But we're going to move on now. Again, we'll take a little break here and we're going to go to our classic beer commercial of the week. So crack one open. You guys take a look at this and we'll be back in a minute.
Thanks again for dog sitting. No worries. They're really smart. They'll do whatever you tell them. Oh, and there's a ton of Bud Light in the fridge. Here we go.
Hey, guys.
There's a whisker in my hamburger.
Guys, we need more mugs. It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go. Don't worry, guys. I got it.
All right, we're back. Now, we're going to give this its own segment because a lot has happened here in the last couple of days on this, and pretty much everything came to a head here Tuesday afternoon on this. But back to the continuing saga of one Jeff Gladney. And the grand jury came out on Tuesday with an indictment on 2 counts of assault.
Right. And this whole Twitter, or this whole Instagram rant that he went on is just, what the fuck, man?
I don't know. And according to the charges that were levied against him, he could serve up to 10 years in jail.
It's not looking good at all. Well, he's been released. So
yep, that came out, or the grand jury thing came out about 1 o'clock or so. About 4 o'clock, the Vikings released a statement saying that they had released Gladney, so he's no longer with the team. Kind of, basically what we had assumed when all this dropped back in June or whenever it was, that once the process had worked itself out, he was no longer going to be on the team. So, and
I know that there is part of the fan base that's fairly upset, not because we released Gladney, but because we drafted Gladney. But, in my opinion, at the end of the day, the 7th round should be just as important as the first.
Well, but the thing with it is, but your first round picks are when you're supposed to get your blue chip players and everything, and Gladney was a first round pick.
Right. But it says a lot about your scouting staff when you're continuously able to get those guys in the 4th and 5th round that actually come in and produce as well.
Well, yeah. And I mean, honestly, I can't fault our scouting staff or anything.
You can't really fault these guys
for this problem, because by all accounts, Gladney had always kept his nose clean and everything else. Before this, there was never any talk of any red flags about him having attitude problems or anger issues or anything like that. But, so like on Tuesday here, like I said, about 4 o'clock Central Time, the Vikings released a statement saying they had released him. But on top of the grand jury indictments, he's also had a civil suit filed against him. The defendant has filed for a $1 million suit and reading some of this stuff, the accusations in here, I'll go through them here quick, but
Right.
so alleging that the victim was assaulted for more than 2 hours, having
It's not good.
her head slammed on the dashboard of his vehicle. When they come up to a stop sign, he'd pull off to the side of the road and assault her multiple times until the light would turn green. Then they'd take off and do the same thing at the next stoplight. And then here, less than 2 weeks ago, he shows up at her place and forces her to delete text messages and screenshots of stuff relating to any of this stuff. And then he tried to buy her off with $1,000 necklace
Yep.
and a gift certificate for a spa day. So I said this when this
Good
came down.
riddance, man.
Yep, I said this when everything came down, that if it's true, Gladney, you're a piece of shit, and I'm glad you're off my team. I don't want you around this team anymore, and your NFL career is over, buddy. I hope it was fucking worth it,
Yep.
because you're gonna
Pissed it down his leg.
yeah.
And you know what? The worst thing is that he had talent.
Oh yeah.
He
By the-
was good for us last year.
By the
and
end of the
what
year, he was
did
turning into a
was-
decent, and you know, he had an inside role to be the starting slot corner when we
his
after we brought
fucking
Peterson in.
career down his leg.
Oh yeah.
Thank God. I know people are upset, but thank God we had a plan B in place and
Yeah.
that went through.
Right.
And a plan C in place, which also went through. So
Right.
we are set without his ass anyways, regardless.
Yeah, because
Good
we had,
riddance to
we
Jeff
have-
fucking Gladney. Get the fuck out.
yep, goodbye, enjoy jail, you and
Piece of shit.
yeah. So you know, he's no longer a Viking. So as the great Drew Bunting would say, we're not even going to give him the $3,500. It's here's your bus ticket. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Turn in all your shit. And we're
Yep.
done.
I
We're
say
done
you
with
fucking you erase the annals of time and get his name off of your club as soon as you can.
you. Yep. Well, and you know, A, it was the right thing to do, and B, the Vikings had no choice but to release him after this stuff is, you know.
They played it right, in my
Mhm.
opinion. They waited
Well, yeah,
to see,
you had to
and
let
they
the
see
legal
what they saw,
process
and they did what they needed to do.
you had to let the process play out, which they did. And then, like I said, because I had seen the grand jury thing, like I said, about maybe 10, 11 o'clock, whatever. And then Mark Wilf had done a press conference sometime shortly thereafter, and they had asked him about it. And they said, the team is in discussions right now. I'm not at liberty to say anything about it. But then within 2 hours after Wilf had talked, you know, had his little deal.
They were probably
Then-
waiting to iron out the last little bit of details
Yeah.
that was going through.
You know, I'm sure it was said at that point in time, we need to just get this figured out and get him off the team.
And you
So,
know what? It's a good relief too. Now you can just put it to rest. No
Yeah.
more wondering when he's coming back or whatever. or
Yeah, if he's
whatnot,
coming
gonna
back.
come back or whatever. He's gone. That's it.
yeah,
Over.
you likely won't hear boo about
Vamoose.
likely won't hear boo about Jeff Gladney on this show ever again unless something comes down with a. But so we're
I
gonna
don't think so.
we're gonna wipe our hands of Gladney and we're gonna move on.
Forever.
Bye bye.
Thanks now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Hey, you live here in Pittsburgh?
No, actually, I'm here.
Bye-bye.
So anyway, then kind of take a look here quick on what's coming up the next week. Of course, padded practices are starting. They started Tuesday today. They thought they were going to start on Monday, and
Right.
Rick Spielman got a call from the NFL about 90 minutes before practice and saying, no, you guys, you have to have 48 hours after that first practice or whatever. You know, they had the day off on,
Yeah.
or 48 hours after your day off, you can go pads.
They went shells.
So they had the day off on Sunday. They were thinking it was supposed to be Monday, but it ended up being today. But now as of Tuesday, they're practicing full pads.
Yep.
So, and then they're going to have another night practice on this upcoming Saturday, but this one's going to be over at US Bank Stadium, not at TCO.
Right.
So, and fans are going to be allowed in. So this will be the first time since the pandemic that fans will be allowed to be in TCO
Into the
or
stadium.
in US Bank Stadium to
Yep.
watch the game. So, or the team play. So, after that, then training camp ends on the 12th, which coincidentally is the day that Vikings Uncensored is going to be at training camp.
Christ. Otter. This is ridiculous.
What are we gonna do?
Road trip.
We'll be there.
It's a joint practice day with the Denver Broncos. So Lance and I are going to be down there, everything permitting.
You can always come up and say hi.
Yeah.
By all means. I'll say hello to you. Have a couple words. By all means. I'm approachable.
Oh, absolutely. We both are. We'll be up in the stands. We'll be doing our thing, hopefully getting.
I would love to meet anybody that watches our show.
Oh, sure.
So, I mean, by all means, you see me, you see my big ass at training camp, you come up and say hi.
Yep, absolutely. We'll sit down, we'll bullshit with you. We'll do what, have a good old time while we're there. The more people we can meet and stuff and networking, it's a great thing. So we're hoping we get to do a lot of that while we're down there.
Never be afraid. You see me out there and you want to come up and say hi, by all means.
Yep. So then beyond that, and we're hoping, ideally, we're going to get some footage and hopefully be able to record while we're at training camp. So next week's show, we're hoping will be recorded on location down at TCO, but we're working on that.
I hope it can go through, but we'll see.
Yeah. So look for that next week.
Then be escorted off the fucking facility.
Yeah.
I thought this was America.
Yeah. But this was America.
What, is this a communist country or something? I thought this is America.
But beyond that, starting around the 14th, which is Saturday, we'll have our first preseason game against Denver. It's a 3 p.m. Central start, which is kind of a weird time for preseason games, but we'll get to see some of these guys in game action.
It should be a decent preseason game as well, since they, have had the joint practices against each other the few days before that. So should be a pretty fired up game, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully we'll have at least most of our.
It's gonna be the return of Teddy.
We'll have most of our quarterback stable back.
Oh, Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, Teddy. Yeah, between the battle of Teddy versus Drew Lock down there. So,
man, granted, both are talented. So maybe I wish them luck.
They play for Denver, so I couldn't give a shit less, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a Broncos fan, so I don't care if they go 0-17. So
I remember 98. And I had my fair weather Bronco fans around me.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've always been a Vikings fan.
Right. So, but anyway, that's kind of some of the upcoming stuff to keep an eye on. Other than that, that's about all we've got for this week. Once again, want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that little red button down below there with the bell, so that you get alerted when we put out new stuff. Like I said, usually our previews go on Wednesday. The main show is Friday nights. From time to time, Lance is putting up his little video shorts, either sometime on the YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, that kind of stuff on the Facebook page.
Chickens and pigs.
Yeah.
No.
I'm surprised we haven't gotten blocked from that one, but
Jesus, man, I took that shit down.
Yeah, it was probably a good idea.
Did I tell you I got banned from Reddit for that shit?
Did you?
I got banned from Reddit for it. Yeah.
Nice. I did. You didn't tell me that one.
The one place I do not like to plug my shit, and I go there and plug it with the one thing I probably shouldn't, and then I get banned. So
yeah, the Karen's got a hold of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, thanks everybody for watching. We really appreciate it. Keep watching. Tell your friends. Bring everybody you can come in to watch us, subscribe, help us build this brand. This is for you guys.
Yes.
And like I said, we hope to see a bunch of you guys hopefully down at training camp this week. But with that, why don't you take us out of here, Lance?
Thanks again, guys. We appreciate you being here, checking us out. We are still growing, evolving. Like we always say, ideas, put them in the comments. We'll check them out. Anything to make the show better. We always have things kind of going on in the background, always talking to each other. So thanks. We are excited about where this show is going. So stick around. We try to bring you the most up-to-date news like always. And if after this show today, check out Vikings Report tomorrow on Saturday morning. So
Actually, they're not doing a Saturday show this week.
Oh, they aren't. That's
No,
right. They are live.
They're going live on
tonight
Wednesday, so they'll be on before us. But
So go back in time
yeah,
and watch their show on Wednesday night.
right. And
Or you can always just watch their show.
yeah, they'll have it on their
That's good.
YouTube page. You can watch it. I mean, Drew and Ted and Christopher Gates will be on there with them as well for their live shows.
Yep, Christopher
so,
Gates is with them now for the year, so
Yep. So
for the season, I believe.
keep an eye on those guys too. And with that, we will see you guys hopefully from training camp next week.
Adios.